Good afternoon, everyone, from the Fox Carolina Weather Center. Meteorologist Nicole here alongside meteorologist Isaac Williams, tracking the severe weather that's across our area. It has gotten more intense as the morning has now turned into afternoon. Isaac, we're looking at numerous threats.
Yeah, so first off, we have the tornado watch. We have numerous flash flood warnings. We've seen tree and power line damage from earlier severe storms. Outside of the flooding, though, we actually don't have any active severe weather warnings, but we're starting to see this flood threat become very, very dangerous. We've actually just heard of a mudslide potentially being in progress across McDowell County near the Woodlawn community, and that's just something that we're going to continue to watch pretty closely. Now, we are watching the threat for severe weather to continue throughout the day as well. You just saw that tornado watch that's in effect for the entire viewing area of the upstate, I should say. You can see that Polk, Rutherford, and McDowell County is also in this tornado watch for the next 5 hours until 5 p.m. this afternoon. And again, the risk will be just a little bit higher off to areas of the east, but just be aware that all of our counties are still in a risk of severe weather as we go into the next couple of hours. And really a very messy afternoon underway here across the western Carolinas and northeast Georgia. We have pockets of heavier rain, and then we have pockets of lighter rain at the moment, but no active severe weather warnings, Nicole, but we have many, many flash flood warnings.
That's right. And these flash flood warnings continue anywhere up through about 2:30 this afternoon for some just going up for the next 15 to 20 minutes. So it's pretty widespread. We're watching all of Pickens County, all of Oconee County under flash flood warnings at this hour. Also looking in northeast Georgia, Stevens and Franklin counties both under flash flood warnings right now, and they have been for several hours. We are beginning to see some viewer pictures come in of some cars partially submerged, some areas of roadways that have been closed. So we're going to watch all of this very closely. The flooding, one of our bigger concerns right now. And then, like Isaac mentioned, the stronger severe storm potential ramps up a little later today. Way out into northeast Georgia, again, all the way through that 85 corridor toward Carnesville. That's under the flash flood warning at this hour, too. And up in North Carolina, you're not getting spared from this. We're actually getting concerned about landslides because of all of this rain that's coming down. We have Graham, Swain, and northern Macon County under flash flood warnings at this point. Transylvania and Henderson counties both under flash flood warnings, and they do include both the Swannanoa and the French Broad rivers, with flood concern all the way into the weekend as all of this storm water starts to drain away. So the whole system tracking very quickly with individual cells from one city to the next, but the overall storm motion to the east, it's happening very slowly. So it is just dumping rainfall across western North Carolina and the northern upstate right now. Even though you're hearing some rumbles of thunder in places like Lawrence and almost into Spartanburg now, you're not actually seeing any severe thunderstorms at this point. This is good news. We're in a brief break from some of the heaviest storm activity, but what we are seeing currently is some of the heaviest rainfall. So we're in between the wind and the major damage outside of the storm threat. But look off to our south and west. We're starting to see these lines of heavy rainfall and storms going through Athens, Georgia. Another set down toward I-26 and I-20. And that's going to be what really continues to push into the southern upstate over the next several hours. And the issue with this is that the areas it's entering have been uninterrupted by rain until now. So just now, that atmosphere, it's been growing more and more favorable for those strong to severe storms to develop. So this next kind of wave of the system pushing through is going to be what really intensifies off to our north and east for more of this situation to become dangerous throughout the day. So our severe threat levels, they're at a higher risk today for flooding and for wind damage. We're currently seeing the flooding now. That wind damage, again, ramps up a little bit more in the afternoon. We still can't rule out large hail, and we can't rule out a tornado threat. Both of those are slightly lower risks, but they will still continue to be an issue as we go through this storm system. Now, we're going to look ahead to what we can expect over the next several hours. And of course, we do have that tornado watch in place across the upstate, parts of northeast Georgia down to Hart and Elbert counties, and it does include McDowell, Polk, and Rutherford counties in western North Carolina. This goes until 5 o'clock this evening. That's when the atmosphere stays most favorable for spin-up tornadoes. They likely would be brief, but they could pack a punch. So we're going to watch it all very closely. None of those warnings out right now. A watch generally just means stay very weather aware. Nothing major at the moment outside of those major flood concerns, but for tornado concern, we will continue to look ahead to this. We have seen some reports come in from across our area. Flooding has been one of the bigger issues as we've gotten out and about. This is an image coming out live from Westminster of some major flooding. It looks like the fire department there might be trying to drain some of that water away from the side roadways that have now flooded over and appear to be closed. They seem to have closed off most of this region, and it's very close, it seems, to some residencies, a lot of houses right there. So Westminster, one of the areas under a flash flood warning right now, and they will continue in that over the next hour or two. Also taking a live look at River Road in Hendersonville, the storm, not a live look, a photo from Hendersonville. The storm brought down a tree across the road, some power lines, and this has closed the roadway there. So we do continue to look at those kinds of issues as we get through the morning. You can really see some of that concern down roadways. So be cautious if you're going to be out and about. River Road in Hendersonville is just one of very likely many that will have concerns like this and have road closure. So maybe stay put if you can while the worst of this storm goes through. And of course, this picture was posted by the Walhalla Police Department. They said that North Catherine Street at Lakeside Drive is down to one lane in both directions. Look at that. You can see a car partially submerged. It looks like a parked car, but partially submerged there. So they are closing at least part of those roadways, and just be very aware that road conditions continue to change. Now, another viewer brought in that photo of the car partially submerged. And of course, on top of all of this, the wind has been going on all day. This is a look earlier today in Anderson, just outside of Denver Downs, and it was just incredibly breezy. And just be aware that within the thunderstorms, the wind will continue picking up. This is now, of course, getting to a look at flooding in the Avondale subdivision in Seneca. This was taken by Ginny Watts. So it's just been a major issue all across the area throughout the day today. This is flooding in Westminster, of course, as we get to the next image. This is along Highway 123, right before you get to the trash dump area. If you're familiar with that, look at this, a car and a home partially submerged there. So just really intense flooding. And of course, at the flooding in Westminster inside Yusef's restaurant, we've seen some major concerns there too. So of course, for any of our storm updates, we continue to follow everything for you live in the field here in the studio, and we'll continue to track everything for you. You can download the Fox Carolina News app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. It's a free app for full coverage. You can also catch us on the air at 4, 5, 10, and 11 o'clock tonight. We'll have more updates throughout the afternoon as needed. So stay with us, and we'll get you right back to your regular programming.